Ba 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 ba. That's my advert while I load up YouTube to check that I'm actually live. Because if I'm not live, then this is pointless. Do do do. Sick. Right. Sick. Yeah, sick. Okay. I can see myself on my screen and I sound all right. Yo. Oh, and Sean Cray has just arrived as well. I can see him backstage. Sick. Right. Let me get my guests in first before I start this off. So, my first guest, we was just talking. He does so much in battle rap. It's crazy. Trubs is in the chat. If this man does not get a top 10, we are definitely battling or we're fighting, bro. It's up to you, bro. It is my man, Gus Buff.
Yo, yo. Always good
Say
to have
hello to
people
the Crash
fighting on my
Report
behalf.
watchers. Yeah, no, I don't mind. I just like fighting. And my second guest is he don't talk to feds, and I really rate that because I've had disputes with feds all week this week. It's man like Sean Cray. Sean, you in the building? You hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you. Yeah.
He's here. How are you, Sean? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Cool. Boys, Don't Flop is tomorrow. Have you seen the card? How are we feeling about the card? I think it's a decent card.
Yeah, I've just had a
I mean,
look at it. Yeah.
as someone on the left side of the main event, I feel very good about the card, personally.
He does. Listen, he does hosting. He's now a league owner because them spaces battle. We need more of them. Even if it's a regular thing, we need one a month at least. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's a five battle card. It's the first event I tweeted it. It's the first event I went to, and I got to watch the main event and before I had to go home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing. It all ran on time. It started on time, and it was great, bro. I mean, before we get into Don't Flop, how do you feel about it, my bro? Because I've spoken to you, but I want you to tell the people how you feel about it.
I'm thrilled about it, man. I don't think it really counts as league ownership because I did run it as part of PB. Like, for the benefit of those listening who would like the context of what we're talking about. So the UK doesn't run many spaces battles on Twitter. America runs a fair few, as do Nigerian leagues and a bunch of others. I did a spaces battle about a month, 6 weeks ago. It went really well. I got way more followers off the back of it than I expected to. And I thought, you know what, our scene could probably do something like this. Like if we're looking to like plug stuff, if we're looking for people to get more followers, get more eyes on the Patreon, not many people in the scene like really had the time to pick it up because they're busy running the actual in-person events, booking these ridiculously huge things. And like I'm quite tapped into the Twitter space and what battlers are popping online. I thought, you know what? I'm happy to book it. I'm happy to go between these people. I've got people that I trust to recommend me names, people like Slim Buck and Oppa and Mike and other guys that I know through iBattle and other stuff. And I just thought, let's see what happens. Like, I kind of forgot to ask Briggsy's permission. I talked to him at SovPro, completely slipped my mind to actually ask him permission, but I got Trump's permission. So I went, yeah, Premier Battles is doing spaces. And Briggsy went, oh, are we? But no, it went really well. I think we peaked at about 100 listeners on Wednesday. We had a fantastic main event: Queen Modder versus Quill, Frost against Lockhart, Angie against Anki Dams, who were like completely fresh, and then we had Bentner versus Crumpet in a Dub Scandal Classic. I'm literally rendering the video as we speak. And that will be dropping on Trubs' channel in the next few days once I've sent it to him and we've confirmed there's nothing wrong with it. But for a debut card, I'm absolutely thrilled with how that went. And I feel like I have to do more of them now.
I feel like you should do more of them. Sean, would you get involved in a spaces battle?
I'll probably get involved in watching more of them, but no, I don't. It doesn't play to my strengths, to be honest. No.
An acquired taste.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it listening the other night. Though it was surprisingly good. So I'm definitely looking forward to the next one. 100%.
You're coming off a big moment in your own right, Sean. How was Apex?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it went really well. It was it was. I was looking forward to it, and you never know because when the higher the stakes are, you don't know if it's gonna go really badly or really well. It's kind of one of those ones. It can go one way or the other. But yeah, it went really well. Went well on both sides. So lots of people were saying it was like a good battle on both sides. So yeah, wouldn't change it.
No, that's sick. I prefer what I've been here too long, lads. I've been in battle rap like over 11 years in it. So that's why I'm doing the media thing is to kind of kick back on watch. I just like hearing good battles like and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be sure to cop the Apex. I'm on the wrong side of payday to be copping Patreons and stuff like that. But I'll wait till they drop, so I don't mind. I got stuff to do. So the Beat Geek Don't Flop event is tomorrow. I like to start at the bottom of the card. I don't actually think I can announce the first battler. Lysergic MC? Is that
Lysergic.
right?
Yes.
Lysergic
Yep.
versus Tatum MC, who I'm familiar of. So I'm gonna first off just give it to Tatum. Never heard the other brother first, and that's how I work. Any of you seen Lysergic before?
Yep. I have. I've seen him twice.
What we saying?
So
What we saying?
Lysergic was a tryout earlier this year at the Bristol event. He went against B Ramble, who's a female battler that I'm a massive fan of. Her battle on Don't Flop will be dropping in the next few days because it's just dropped on the Patreon. But I thought those two had a lot of potential. So I started talking to them after the event. They got in contact with me afterwards, asking for advice and things. So I've been giving him tips and tricks. He had a PB tryout because I recommended him to Trubs to kind of put him out there. So he's definitely, quite field tested for a newbie. Like this will be his fourth battle, I think. He's still finding his feet. Like he's not really got anything yet that I would say is his style yet, but he's definitely improving, like slowly but surely every battle. And I'm hoping he like takes to this format really nicely because it's 60-second rounds only. It's 360s. Like you're not allowed any filler on this card at all. And I know that he's a very good on beat battler, so I'm hoping that will lean well to him. Tatum has been improving a lot as well. Like Tatum's been quite active this year, and it's nice to know that he's taking like battle rap properly seriously because I've always liked Tatum.
I've had words with Tatum near enough every battle because I know he can be good, but then he's got there on the day and it's not been what was needed to do. And he said to me like at that time he had a newborn and stuff, so I can kind of relate to that. But now I don't want to hear no excuses. Like you said, he improves every battle. I need to see a clean performance. I want him to win. I think he's decent. I do enjoy his style when he is doing his style properly. But then when I hear a stumble or something, it just pisses me the fuck off straight away off the bat. Eye rolls straight away. Sean, you seen any of these two before? Sean, you seen any of these two
Sorry, mate.
before? It's
I,
all right.
I
It's
was
all
trying.
right. It's all right.
I was trying to put the audio through my headphones, but yeah, it's not working. Yeah, I'm familiar with both of the names. Tatum, I remember from like BA, I think, and
He's been on
yeah,
BA, Don't Flop, and No Loose Chat.
yeah, and then Lysergic. Yeah, I've heard reviews, but no, I haven't seen either of them. I can't lie.
Okay, so Gus, because you're more familiar with them, we're gonna listen to you more because mine's a biased stand of view. Out of the two and what you've seen,
Mhm.
and the 1 minute thing is amazing to me because you like you said, there is no time for filler. You just got to get that. Is it timed as well? So it's 1 minute. That's it. No
I've
grace
been told it's
period.
fully timed. I've been told they're calling time on the 60, so we'll see how that
Yeah,
goes.
that's pressure. That is. I
But
do like that though.
I rate it. I think Lysergic is going to be more polished, but it's also going to be interesting to see him like rap in a cadence that I've not seen him rapping before. He's usually been like quite good at very slow 2 bars, is what I've seen a lot from him historically. So especially in a hip hop festival setting, you've almost got to lean more into your pockets more than the punches for something like this, I think. I think I am going to give it to Tatum. I think Max has more of an established character. He's obviously more field tested, but it just depends on like how polished Max is on the day.
No, cold, cold, cold. The next one, I haven't heard of either of these. Brewski versus Jackson.
I feel like Brewski's had a tryout. I think he was one of those ones that did it like the January tryouts, but it's been a while since I've watched it. I don't remember anything, and I don't think I've seen Jackson. So this may be like a tryout or like a brand new guy battle.
Sounds very tryout-y. Sean, just in case you have
No, I've
miraculously.
not even. No, most of the people on this card, I do know. I'm not going to be an idiot who sits here and says I've never heard of any of these people. But no, this battle, no, I haven't heard of them.
Good luck to both of them from all of us here at Crash Report. Round is a name that I recognize. Versus, what the fuck is with these names, man?
Is that Maivia, like the Rock? Or...
Maivia? I don't know. Is it a rock? I don't know what the fuck that is.
Not familiar with them, regardless.
Drown's going to win because I think I've heard his name on Dub Scandal back in the day. Let's go to the next one. Formy versus LXD. I've fought one of these brothers and I've seen the other one rap. And I know he makes music as well. That's cool. We could talk about this one. Gus, do you want to take this one off though? That way?
Cool. So Formy having his grand return from Don't Flop after about 2 years, I think. Yeah, XLD, like I've seen Lloyd battle a couple times now. And the thing with that I've said to him as well, I'm pretty sure, I feel like XLD really needs to pick a lane because like he's a big bloke, he's boxed you. And it's like he can't seem to decide whether he wants, because he's a comedian as well, he can't seem to decide whether he wants to do like jokes because he's a very soft-spoken Welsh guy, but he seems to like alternate between like jokes or, you know, playing the big man because he is a big man. And then seems to kind of like almost stumble like whenever he does a bar and it doesn't get a reaction. I've noticed he's almost got like a tick. Like if he does a bar and doesn't get a reaction, he does like this throat clearing cough. It's really weird.
It is quite awkward. I've seen that, like when the bar doesn't hit, like he thinks it's gonna hit, and we've all wrote them, but you shouldn't be able to tell as much because you kind of stop and then go back into it.
I like Lloyd. I feel like he needs to decide whether he wants to be a comedy guy or whether he wants to like be bar heavy as well. So whereas for me, I know like I've not seen many polished performances from Formies, but when he has been polished, he has been quite funny. And especially considering we're not going to be in front of like necessarily like, you know, proper battle rap fans that you'll see at every Prem event. It's going to be mostly like festival goers. And this is it's an evening event as well. I imagine if there is beer, people are going to be a bit pissed. So I think that favors for me.
No, that's cool. I've battled quite a few times in front of like non-battle rap fans, and I feel like it's easier to write because you can throw in a bit more genericness in there because they're just there to see 2 people call each other dickheads, basically. With battle rap fans, you want the multis, you want stage performance, everything. With them, they just, what's this, a rap battle? Yeah. Like 8 Mile. No beat, no beat, no beat. Oh, so it's going to call each other dickheads in rhyme. Yeah, basically. Cool. Just do that. But yeah, with this one, I like XLD. Like I said, I fought him. I think he's a nice guy. He's one of the only other Welsh battlers you hear of nowadays. But I do feel like he needs big improvements in his confidence. And you say he's a comedian as well, so he does stand-up sets. Gust. Did you say he was a comedian and did stand-up sets?
For a second.
Just a little
I believe
bit
he
back,
did, yeah.
You with me? Yeah. I don't really get that feeling
so.
that he's been on many stages before. It didn't feel confident to me. But who knows? He's been sat out. He's thrown punches with Crash. Maybe he's sorted himself out and hopefully comes improved. Sean, my broski on the bottom.
This was a sanctioned boxing match, by the way. You've just been saying you've been fighting him as if you like punched him up outside the fitness.
I've mentioned fighting like 7 times. I think the itch is coming back. Yeah, I think I need to get training again. Sean, have you seen any of these two?
Yeah, for me was Reverse's debut actually, wasn't he? And yeah, he's the thing is with Formy is that he naturally should be able to win this battle, but he seems to be one of those lazy people who doesn't turn up prepped. And doesn't really carry it off too well when he's not prepped. But I'd expect him to win. He'd probably be more comfortable in that kind of environment. So yeah, the environment is going to be in. I'd say Formy's going to win this.
Like Formy can freestyle as well. Like it's a bit stumbly, but if Formy does choke, he'll do something that will keep the crowd locked in. Whereas XLD, I can't see doing that if he flops.
No, that's fair. Yeah. That is always a good secondary weapon to have in your arsenal when you're on the battle rap stage, is just being able to freestyle. I feel like it's because Formy does music as well. I think I've seen a few tunes from him, and like when you've been rapping for a long time, you learn to kind of freestyle if you fuck up on the mic and stuff. But yeah, boys, same luck. Good luck.
Actually, no, sorry. Jojo's just mentioned something that I need to mention. Actually, no, XLD 3-0, because the last battle Formy had, he battled a guy reading his bars off a loo roll, and he never slapped that thing out the guy's hand or rebutted or anything. No, mate. How do you get...
Wait there, bro. He did what, bro? He did what? The guy, he was doing it, or the guy he was battling?
His opponent was a tryout who read his... He must have written his bars in reverse on the loo roll and then re-raveled it. How do you not make a bar about that?
That's... Was it like relevant to his bars though, or was it just him?
I haven't seen it. I don't even think that made it to the Patreon. I think that's vaulted.
Oh, that gone. Yeah, that is crazy. That's weird, bro. Like, respectfully, I get it. Like, you won. No, I don't get it. I don't get it at all, to be honest. I don't get. Sean, what would you do? You're going to battle someone, pulls out bog roll, starts reading the bars off it. What do you do?
Fucking spike that thing, man.
BAM! It's in the back of the Tay-Rock with the chain. It's out of here, bro. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it wouldn't. They wouldn't unravel it very far. Let's put it that
way. Yeah. Well, it'll be an interesting battle. I don't think LXD is going to do that. He better not do that, otherwise he's banned from returning home to Wales. The longest fucking names on the card. We got Burt Broadbent versus Frosty Jack. Don't know the first guy. Frosty Jack, when I battled someone, I can't remember his name. I battled in Bristol, and Frosty Jack, I'd never seen him before. And watching him was fucking hilarious, to be fair. It weren't great, but he was a character which I was like, you probably don't take this seriously, but fuck it out. At least you're having a go, and at least you're funny with it. Like, I don't think he's the greatest battler in the world, and I think he does stand up as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's gonna be shit, at least it's funny type things. You know what I mean? At least it's not awkward.
Yeah, man. I think if you ask the people at the festival, like who aren't really battle rap fans, who have a Bedvie or two, I think a lot of people are going to have this as battle of the night, just because like Burt Broadbent's a comedian and he's also a really funny battler. He's really fucking funny. Like if you're going into this battle like a battle rap snob, expecting like long schemes and multis, you're not going to get this. It's going to be a lot of monosyllabic rhymes. But Bert's a comedian. Bert's so fucking funny that even though he only does monos, I genuinely don't care because his material is that funny, and he's the only person that I give that pass to. Frosty Jack's very similar. Like he's pretty much the face of the comedy roast circuit that Don't Flop does at the minute as well. Like I know if I was gonna do it, I would say it's probably Bert's to lose. I think he's just more naturally comfortable in a pit than Frosty, but I think this is going to be really funny. I think this could be like really good. If you're looking for a bar fest, you'll hate this. If you're looking for like a proper like Don't Flop comedy circuit, entertain the crowd, this will be great.
Who did Burt battle before?
Well, he's battled with Jeeves as a 2-on-2, but then also against.
I can't remember
Jeeves
the name of his ops. He had the 2v2 on.
No, you both said the same thing.
That was it. Yeah,
he battled Jeeves. He had the 2-on-2 with Jeeves, but then also he battled against Jeeves.
Yeah.
Is Jeeves
Yeah, I
another
really rate
comedian,
Bert. I think
or
he's fantastic.
like are they friends on the circuit and then
Jeeves,
they've come to battle rap together?
Jeeves is from Holland and he's battled for a long time, but always in Dutch. So he came over and his first,
yeah, Jeeves
I
is like
believe
the
his
number
first battle
one like Netherlands battler.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's mad.
Yeah,
I
he's
might
got
have seen
like
him because Don't Flop went
hundreds
to
of thousands
Amsterdam
of views.
years and years ago, where Dirtbag Dan battled Big J and stuff like that, and I was there, so he might have been in that building. But I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I was a different person back then. Boom! Now a battle we could talk about fully because I know everyone. Kick Nelly versus Danny Jack. I got Kick Nelly winning. I don't have Danny Jack winning, unfortunately.
What are you saying, Gus?
I think it depends because but I think Danny's got more experience in like the kind of crowd they're going to be in front of. I'm looking at it from the perspective because they're both two very big characters and they've had their own like slew of moments in battle rap, controversies in battle rap, and they both love using angles in their rounds. Neither one of them will have struggled writing for this. If anything, I think they'll be cursing the 60-second timeline. Kick's usually more polished than Danny is. But Danny tends to be more of a comedy battler than Kick is, which I think works in Danny's favor. But I also it depends on what the crowd's in the mood for, because I can see Kick being really cutthroat with this, and I can see Danny trying to go for jokes, and it depends what the crowd's in the mood for.
Generally, I just had to check the flyer. This event starts at 6 p.m., finishes at 11. Danny's like midway through the card, so I'm gonna guesstimate that's about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Danny's pissed. Danny's pissed. There's no way you're going festival not drinking if you're Danny Jack. And I got a feeling he's gonna be like, I'm not gonna drink, I'm gonna do my best. And then when he gets to the day, it's gonna get excited. Do you want a pint? Yeah. Do you want a pint? Yeah. He's fucked off free. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just gonna be sloppy work. And like you said, they've both got enough to say to each other because they're both big characters. I just think Nick's going to be more on the ball, to be honest, because his performances are a lot cleaner than Danny's, like you said. Sean?
Yeah, I mean, if there was a lot of money on the line and I needed to get the prediction right, I'd start looking into the same kind of things that Crash is saying now, that Danny's going to get drunk and let himself down. Which is, yeah, it's a relatively safe bet. But if I just want to sort of predict it aside from booze and all that, I feel like it's Danny's battle, because Danny's battle persona is naturally more likable than what Kicks is, to normal people who aren't in tune with the scene and that. So one of Danny's good things that he does in battles is getting across that personality, but it normally only carries him for a round, maybe a round and a half, and then he'll start stammering and stuttering, and people lose all of that good faith that they've got in him because they think he's going to choke, or he is choking. So yeah, I feel like in this environment it'll be good for him. The fact it's only free, but he's only got to remember 180 seconds worth of material could also play in his favor. Yeah, I do feel like Kick will, yes, he'll be aware that it's a festival crowd and he'll kind of know what will work for him in that environment, but I don't feel like he'll be able to turn down the opportunity to go in on Danny on certain things, so he'll do them regardless, even though they'll flop in the situation. So I'd be leaning more towards Danny actually, but who knows? That's what I think. But yeah, it's some people might watch it back and go for Kick, but yeah, I feel like the people stood there in the crowd at the festival will be leaning towards Danny. actually.
That's fair. So like if it was in a battle rap like a short circuit or a don't flop actual where don't flop like fans are gonna be there, it'd be more lean towards kick, but
It'd be
because it's
leaning.
in a different
Yeah,
environment.
the thing is, both of them are like both of their lives are like a conveyor belt of battle rap angles. They're just it's like the generation game. Like it's every couple of months something else
Someone's in the
comes out,
papers. Someone's in the papers.
and it's like so. But Kick's more the type of person that would have his pen and pad out and being like, "I'm going to go in on this, this, and this." Whereas Danny won't. He won't really touch on hot topics. Like he'll just go for the on the nose stuff, and I feel like that will play into his hands in this environment.
I feel like I hope I say this properly without sounding like a dickhead, but I feel like one of Danny's strengths is self-deprecation. So if someone's calling out for something, he's not the type to get angry. He just goes, "Yeah, I did do that," and it is quite funny. Do you know what I mean? It does work. He's like, "Yeah, I did do that.
But the
My
thing
bad."
is, self deprecation works as a seasoning. It's like a bit of salt and pepper. It's like if you're chucking it all over your dinner,
Yeah, no, of course,
gonna
of course,
ruin
yeah.
it. Like you just a little sprinkle is all you need, and Danny does overdo it at times.
Is there £100 on the line for this battle, or is that just the top two?
The
Because
I
way
believe it's just the
Dojo's,
top two.
it's just the top two, but Cast will know.
it is just the top two, the main event and the co-main event. People, we got my man backstage. I just seen him. He's welcoming up. It's
Well,
Crow. Crow, fresh off the tech
man.
battle in Apex. How we doing, my bro?
Very, very well. Very, very well, man. And delighted to be on the show, my friend.
Thank you very much. You've supported from day one, which I appreciate, and I'm glad you're here, bro. So
I've even got
when
a fight because I knew Sean Cray was going to be on. So
cool. As long as no one's on the phone to Fed, Sean's happy, innit, Sean? No, let's look at the coffers. We won't do the bottom of the card because we very, very much struggled with that. But we are on Danny Jack versus Kick Nelly, and I'd love to hear your opinion of the whole battle.
yeah, I mean, I think it could be interesting. Like, I think Danny Jack's had a few more like better. Obviously, we know he's had a spotty past, right? He's had a few more better appearances recently. I think Kick is like, again, he's like kind of been on a mission to like prove himself a bit in people's eyes, I think. So he's put himself in front of some big, obviously we all saw what happened with Yunnan, but he actually was kind of good. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like it could be, it's one of those matches almost where like Kick wants to prove that he can beat someone like, I'm positive he thinks he can beat Danny Jack, and Danny Jack doesn't want to get beat by Kick. So it could be a good fight.
I will give it in Danny's favor. I think the last two battles he's had cancelled on him, which is very, 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 very annoying. So I should hope. I can't remember which one said it. It's only 60-second rounds, so it's what 180.
Right.
Like, do you know what I mean? And that's very much
It would be
doable
hard,
to cram in as much as you can.
and if you choke a 60-second round, you deserve to lose the battle for real. Like,
I don't even think 60 seconds is like 16 bars, is it? Like, do you know what I mean? That's like
in my style, that's literally 16.
It's something ridiculous.
Fair. Fair, yeah. So yeah, I hope they have a good battle. Like we've said, there's plenty of angles for them to each take, but then taking into account it's not an angle-based environment. It depends how they do it and how they approach the battle. And the thing is, they haven't got as much time to explain the angle as well. So I need short and snappy. I need bars.
It does give Danny the edge, to be honest, because Danny is loved in that crowd, regardless of the amount of mistakes he's had. He is loved in that crowd. So if he's on a good day, they're gonna fuck with him. Whereas I think Kick's got a little bit like more of a battle to fight with getting the crowd on side.
Yeah, that's facts. Dojo versus Sean Cray next short circuit. This is blasphemy. Said you're in a bully van right now, looking like the passenger seat as well, not even the back. All right,
No,
cold.
it's the
Um,
reverse angle, isn't it?
I see, I see. Black T versus Red Wolf for the undercard for the co-main event.
Mhm.
1 minute rounds for both these two is crazy because these man like to rap.
Facts.
These man are both rappers,
Yeah, I think that's
So,
why they've taken it. Like,
mm,
especially Red Wolf, because I think Red Wolf's got this reputation of like going on these really long hibbity-bibbity schemes, and I think that's partly why he took it in this environment to go, no, I can condense my material, and I know he's really excited about it. I'm hoping this goes down because T was telling me today that he's come down with something. He's quite sick, so I'm hoping he does want to do it. He's hoping that that he recovers and that he can do the battle tomorrow because I know both of them were really excited for it and had written very early for it.
Yeah.
If it happened, like me and Red Wolf have just decided to trade main event spots on the two cards we're on together. But no, I think this is like a really good one because it's almost like it's not a home game for either of them. Like it's Red Wolf's debut, it's only Black T's second. It's in a festival setting, it's in a hip hop setting, so they can like take the weights off where they've got to like tailor things to a battle rap crowd and they can just rap. I don't know how like targeted it's going to be, how direct it's going to be, anything like that. But I sincerely hope this happens because it's just going to be a treat to listen to.
Yeah, for sure. I think as well.
Sean,
Like,
how you feeling about this battle? Or Crow, whichever one, fight.
I was just gonna say, I think Red Wolf has always had a bee in his bonnet about not getting the plates he thinks he deserves. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is a chance for him to fucking prove that he deserves them plates because arguably, like it's not even an argument. Black T is higher up the ladder than him, right? And has more consistent like big battles or whatever. So I think Red Wolf's gonna come in with the bit in his teeth. You know what I mean? And hopefully the shorter rounds really teaches him to kind of like edit down to maximum effectiveness. That's what I hope for him. T's awesome. Basically, like I think if he comes in and does what he can do and keeps it snappy, it'll be a really good battle.
No, they both battle well. I mean, when you're looking at this format of 360-second rounds, these guys are like quite low on my list of people that I would say it plays to their strengths. I really don't think it plays to either of their strengths. Both of them like time to express themselves when they're battling. So it's going to be interesting to see because they've both got to really adapt their styles to work in this format. So yeah, I mean, I'm probably leaning towards. Oh no, I'm thinking as I'm speaking. Actually, yeah, it's very, very difficult. Yeah, I was going to say Black T, so I'll stay with Black T. But yeah, I think that Red Wolf might be able to fire off some really quick to the point stuff and roll him over, sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, I am interested in this one, but yeah, I'll stick with Black T.
Right. Happy birthday to Battle Rat Wax. Claps and all that. Sean, do not take his Tottenham shirt off. That's a pause. Do not do that on my show. Nudity is not a thing here, bro. I had to tell Tech one time, go grab a t-shirt, bro. You're not doing that over here, bro. We don't do that over here.
Tech really be calling people with no top on all the time.
Yo, he loves it, bro. He don't mind. He don't mind.
I nearly did a whole thing about that in the battle, but
that would have been hilarious, bro. To be fair though, going back to the battle, the way Red Wolf raps, he can get a good 2 rounds in 1 round. If he tries, do you reckon Red Wolf's gonna stick to the 1 minute, or he's just gonna do 3 rounds in 1 round? Like, no, don't stop me. Don't
Red
stop
Wolf's
me.
60 seconds is 64 bars.
Yeah, like he saw it as like everyone else has seen it right. We're gonna bunch it down to 1, but he's like, nah, rap faster. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, rap faster.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Right, we got the man from the main event here himself. Gast versus Impact. I really like this battle, bro, but I'm gonna let you man talk about it first. Gast, take it away. It's your battle. Call Impact a dickhead as many times as you can.
Mate, I'm genuinely like really excited for this because like Don't Flop have actually been really good this year at giving me battles that I wouldn't get on other leagues. Like that's always been like one of the problems with like being someone that battles across multiple leagues. It's like, oh, is this a Prem battle? Is this something? But you know, things like Soweto and Impact and even Crow to an extent, like that match didn't make sense on PB, but it made sense on Don't Flop for the circumstances. So like, I think it's a battle that makes sense for the trajectory that I've had. I'm really pleased with it. I'm genuinely thrilled to have my first main event spot, especially in a festival setting, because that's them saying that they have faith in my style to translate to this sort of festival crowd where they go, yo, this, Gaspuff is, what we consider like a headliner in the current Don't Flop that we're building, which is fucking cool for me. And obviously Impact, he's very field tested. He's been around a good while. He's had some great battles in his own right. It's been a hot minute since I've seen him in a singles one, but I want to see what Impact does, because I know that he can like rap, and I know that he's got like really like powerful delivery, and he's like a foot taller than me as well. So in terms of like physical presence, in terms of what a rapper looks like and probably sounds like as well, it does feel like an uphill battle and a challenge for me, but I'm looking forward to it. I think my material's really concise, really well tailored. Obviously, I've gone into it to have fun. I'm not treating it too heavy in terms of it's judged. Yeah, there's money on the line. I'm going into it for a showcase, but I do think like I've got a good chance of taking it, and I've been told that from people that I've spat my rounds to.
I think you've got an excellent chance because your style is like such a, in my opinion, it's like a perfect like salve to what he does. You know what I mean? Because he's he obviously does take the piss and he's kind of silly and shit, but he is quite serious too. You know what I mean? And I think what you bring to the table is just like a way of making that look dumb. You know what I mean? And I've obviously heard your rounds and they're fucking fire. So I think you're gonna smoke him, to be honest. I like Impact, but I feel like you got this for real. Hopefully he's watching and that makes him shit his pants.
Sean, how you got this battle going, my brother?
I think it's a hard one to call, actually.
Same.
Because the thing is with Impact is one of the last time, or the only time I can remember him being on Prem, for example, is when he went and battled Slester, and it just didn't translate at all, and he lost very, very badly. But then, like, if you look at other events where he's battled against Mackenzie, for example, and I think he had one against Marlowe, in fact.
He did, yeah.
Where like he actually won like these battles, like, and he's if you take it away from that environment of where everyone's used to seeing each other and everyone's used to a status quo and whatever, you put it into a different environment, he's actually dangerous. Like, so yeah, I feel like what will probably happen is I'll watch the battle and in my eyes I'll feel like Gaster's won, but it wouldn't surprise me if in the crowd's eyes Impact's
right. Yeah,
win.
he's quite good at building momentum and stuff, and if it's the right crowd, it's possible they can swept up in it for sure. But apparently he had a really good showing on that on beat thing at that Roots picnic thing.
Okay.
So that Spur was saying he was amazing in that. So, he's on a bit of an uptick.
Yeah, and he's had a big break, and you know what it's like. Sometimes having a big break means that you're kind of sitting on ideas, and they might be those kind of tailored to nobody kind of things which will work in this environment. He might already have had a 16 of battle bars that he's liked and he's got it polished and he's going to drop it and it'll go well. So yeah, I think it's a tricky one to call, but if I was to judge it myself, I'd imagine I'd be going Gast in current form.
I think the other thing with Impact is like even though he's taken a break, he was still really good before he took the break. Like I had him and Tongue Twister beating Frankie and Frost in that 2v2 that dropped.
Him and Tongue Twister were very good.
That was a very good 2-on-2, yeah.
And he was crazy good against Colton Shanks, even though it was such a stupid gimmick round. Like, you know,
What was the
round
gimmick
bars,
again? I remember the battle. But
round
it
bars
it was
versus
round.
defeat bars.
Yeah.
And he was
that was
flames.
my idea, I have to say as well, which is fine.
Yeah.
Like he was
But
fucking
you're right.
excellent in that, and if he delivers them in that kind of way, where he's spitting bars that he knows are bollocks, but he's saying them as seriously as he can, like he'll have me cracking up, let alone the crowd. Like I do really like some of the stuff that Impact does. It just depends how he approaches it, because I don't know.
If the news filters through that Impact has won, it wouldn't shock me. But I'd be interested to see it back for myself. You know.
Yeah, I think with this battle, it does make like I wouldn't have thought of it myself, but seeing it and thinking, and when you think about it, you both are very clear when you rap. I find it hard to bet against you now, Gus, because of the run you are, and I know how serious you take battle rap. And I know you're saying you're having fun, but I don't feel like you'd ever step on stage with mediocre shit, especially you this being a main event for Don't Flop. I feel like even though you think it's light, I don't feel like you've taken it that light. And the fact that it's 1 minute condensed down, I feel like them rules have made it more fun to you because you've never probably writ like this. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So I feel like you're gonna go mad. But I also do feel like Impact over the years, he's always had never below average showing. He's always got bars. I don't think I've ever seen him choke or fuck up or take a battle lightly. He always does what he comes to do. And again, you're both very likable characters. If I had to put money down on it, I'm gonna say you, because the run you are on, I don't feel like Impact could take it off you. But again, like Sean said, if the word filters through, the Impact one, I know it must have been a very good battle,
100%.
close battle. And again, it depends who's watching it from, because we're battle rappers, we see it from a different place that your average festival non-battle rap fan would see it. But I feel like it makes perfect sense, and it's going to be an entertaining headliner and a great way to finish off what should be a good event in my eyes. Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, best of luck, bro. Like,
Yeah,
do you know
I
what I
don't
mean?
think I've
Do the
taken
damn
it like
thing.
light per se, but I've yeah, I don't think I've taken it light. I think it's more like I've written for like the festival. Like I've written to do what they expect from me. I've written to entertain, to punch, to give them like a vertical slice of everything that battle rap is. I'm in the same sort of mindset I was when I was writing my bars for Soweto, and people thought that performance was really good. And like I'm just trying to practice getting an idea of like writing for what I think the crowd will want, like, which will probably help me in the judge setting. But I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm writing in my head for a judged battle. I'm writing for a main event 60-second performance, which is as concise as I can make it, and I'm really pleased with what I've got.
Nah, best of. It's tomorrow, innit, bro? Like, what festival is it, bro? I should really know that as a media, but what?
Beat Geek. I think it's like held in like this really big skate park. There's going to be like live sets. Fucking Tenchu's performing before us. That's going to be crazy.
I saw that, and I'm fuming that I saw the flyer too late.
Red Rum, Boyce and Tenchu, like Crazy's going to be on beat again. I love Crazy. I've got so much time for him.
I love Crazy. I've been on his radio show. I remember watching, what battle was I watching? I watched it on the Crash Report. Carlton versus Reverse, and someone had an Egg McMuffin bar, and Crazy pulls a fucking Egg McMuffin out his pocket, and it's got to be about 8 o'clock at night. Them shit stopped selling at like 10, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
All day long. And I never forget that part, because Carlton says Egg McMuffin. And like
Egg McMuffin. Egg McMuffin.
It's like Super Mario.
Nah, that's cool. Big up though. Now on to the entitled event, which has been the whole I think every battle in the entitled run up tournament has been great. Crow, you was in it, bro.
I was
actually really shocked.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the battle back.
I hear it. To be honest with you, right? And like I spoke to Quill afterwards and said he was one of the judges, and he was like, you know, and this is kind of, and I agree with him. So this, like, Tongue Twister was the better guy on the day. He deserved to go through. Like, I don't think it was a robbery or nothing like that. I would say that, like, and Quill said, like, my bars were, I had more bars and they were harder, but his delivery was way better. His performance was really comfy. Whereas I didn't like the environment. I felt really like a fish out of water there because we were outside, we were in a park. There was like kids and shit running around, and I was like, yo, I'm about to say some mean shit to this guy, and it's kind of weird saying it in front of these kids for real. So I just didn't get into my bag. And also there was like this weird moment at the very beginning because I delivered my first 4 bars and started my next 2, and Rowan stopped the battle and he was like, "No, run it back. There's water bottles in the fucking shot." And I was like, "What?" I was really pissed off too. Like I kind of snapped at him, and then I had to run it back. And so as soon as we started again, I felt like I lost all the sauce off it because I was just like, "I'm gonna say the same 4 bars again. They're gonna pretend to react. They already know what I'm gonna say." So it just took me out of my vibe, man. And I mean, I delivered it all fine, but I didn't deliver it great. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think if I had on another day in a venue or with a bit of energy to feed off of with the crowd, I would have taken the battle. But I think he was way better on the day than I was, so he deserves to go through.
No, that's fair. You're really good at what you do, bro. So you're not shy of bookings. Like, I don't think it damaged your stock. That's the thing with a tournament. People are scared to get into tournaments because they think, oh, if I take, I don't feel like it's the same kind of loss. Like, do you know what I mean? There's only going to be 2 people in the final at the end of the day. As long as you put on a great showing and you do what you're meant to do, you win some, you lose some. Like, I went out the first process round and I was like, so what? And I battled Yunnan next. Like, do you know what I mean? So,
and to be honest with you as well, it was a slight blessing in disguise because if I had won the battle, I would have had Tech 3 weeks later, and then I would have had Yunnan 3 weeks after that, and that would have been a fucking nightmare.
That's nuts.
It would have been a nightmare, bro. So I'm kind of glad.
That's fair, right? So for the entitled card, we have the return of poet. Is he a poet? I swear he's a poet. Is he a poet? Mixie?
Yeah, he's a poet. Yeah.
He is a poet because he was with Mark Grist, wasn't he? They were 2-on-2s and they were friends and that. So we got Mixie versus Danny Jack. What are we saying about this one, lads?
I'm going to say I'm battling on a different card in a different city that day, so I'd prefer it if people didn't go. I'm kidding.
I gotta lock off this whole live now, bro, and then we'll just talk. We'll do a new one, and we'll talk.
Unfortunately, but...
No problem. Look how pissed he is. He's vexed.
I'm
joking.
No, I love the card.
Thank you for coming through, my bro. Best luck tomorrow as well, bro.
No worries. I'm just going to say very quickly. I'm sure you'll cover it in more detail when you get to it. But Lady Shocker Zen on beat. First of all, credit to Zen for defending twice in 1 year. But Shocker's fucking cold on beat. I think that's going to be crazy. I can't wait for that. Anyway, guys, thanks for having me, Crash. Please see everyone.
Take care, my bro.
Hopefully tomorrow, and every other card I'm probably going to be on as the year's ends. So yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Take it easy.
Yeah, peace. So with this one, it's obviously been fucking years since Mixie battled, but he was really good. I feel like he might show up and like Sean was saying, I feel like he might have a bunch in the tank, because he's probably like, I don't even know the last time he fucking battled. Like, it was probably more than 8 years ago. It could have been 8, so if he's been thinking of any bar since then, he's going to have some shit. You know what I mean? So
he's picked a decent opponent to come back against as
well.
I don't think he's going to go down the route that everyone else would go around.
Yeah.
And yeah, there might be ring rust there. But then there might not. I don't know.
And if he stayed performing in other aspects,
exactly. Yeah.
Baker, he came in and he was crazy. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's very possible that he'll come in and be really good. I kind of like feel like he's got a really good shot of winning.
Sean, do you Mixie? Yeah.
I think Mixie will win. Yeah, he was very good. He's got a lot of things that he can talk about. It's actually quite a tricky one for Danny because he's writing for someone from 8 years ago with no real reference in between. So Danny's also got other battles that he's doing at the moment.
Yeah, he's got a lot on.
It's a tricky one. Like he'll take it and it's funny, like it's against someone who's coming back, but it's someone who's coming back who was good, who's gonna have fresh ideas. I think Danny's up against it, to be honest.
I agree. I sort of think like the only thing that I know about Mixie since he stopped battling was that he went off and he taught in China or something like that. He was living in China for years.
Yeah.
Other than that, I know nothing about what he's been up to. So I feel like, and Danny, you know, the character that he is, he's constantly generating angles. Like he never stops generating angles for people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of feel like
that's it. I mean, like I've got a friend who is living and working as a teacher in China as well, and the way that he describes it is like you earn incredible money to do it, but it's like prison there, like because it's like he's living in a place where it's like all his food is provided, his drinks provided, so he barely goes out of his accommodation, and he's pretty much just living watching our social media, but in a different time.
The one thing that I do remember is you know, just before COVID hit and everything got locked down and shit, obviously it kind of hit in China first, right? So we were still living our normal lives and shit. And I remember Mixie posting up a Facebook thing talking about how everything was locked down. He was walking around the city and there was no one there, and it was like so eerie. And I remember thinking like, yo, that's crazy. Like, what a weird thing to experience. And then we all fucking experienced
it. And then everybody inside.
They're still pretty locked down now. As well in China. Like so.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
It's pretty locked off. So it's it ain't much fun over there from what I've heard. But you earn a lot of money doing that job. So it's kind of like if you can do that for 10 years, you're set.
Yeah.
So yeah. Maybe he's been writing shitloads of bars while he's over there.
Yeah, who knows?
And nothing else to do.
Chinese bars, bro. We can have hella Chinese bars we never heard before.
Yeah, that's it.
Big up, bros.
Yeah, I'm going with Mixie. Like if Danny's watching, sorry mate, but that's my call.
Yeah, I'm glad to see Mixie back. Like Crow said, he was fire when he was active, and like I got Mixie winning. It's hard to support Danny Jack. Like he says, I give him a tough time, but I'm just one of those people. Like I don't want to sugarcoat it and be like, no, like show me, bro. Do you know what I mean? Just show me something and I can support you.
One thing I will say is when I was in London for the face off with Frank, and I went out with a drink with Danny the night before, he was running through his dojo material to me, which was a battle which didn't happen. And like I was actually popping to like some of the bars that he had in that, where I was like, they were genuinely good, like good writing, and that's the thing. Like Danny is capable of stringing a couple of bars together. Danny's issue is that he leaves everything until the night before, and then even on the night before he gets drunk and doesn't even get a night's sleep, and he turns up and he's a shambles. But if you get him and he's prepped, where the situation with the dojo one, because I think it was like rearranged a couple of times or whatever the situation was, for some reason he actually had this material, and he was reading it off his phone to me, don't get me wrong, but I was like, that's actually pretty good. If you go there and spit that, people will react.
Well, when he's in his bag, like he can get into certain pockets where he's funny in a way that most people aren't funny in the scene. So when he gets in his little bag, like he can beat people. You know what I mean? Like he was really good against Kupar, for example. Like, you know, it wasn't a perfect performance, but it was much more of the kind of Danny Jack that, you know, built the name. You know what I'm saying? So he's there, you know.
It's just when I hear that, oh fuck, and I'm like, no, bro, don't do that. Shout out Raws, West London. Shout out Raws, West London.
It's one of those things. Like I talk to people about this all the time. Like, you know, I'll have a battle where it's like you feel locked as anything, and like you get a feel of like, okay, this is gonna get a pop. This is gonna get a pop just because of the way the battle's going. then if you come to one that you basically know is going to get a reaction, but you have you fluff the setup, you can guarantee it's going to fall flat.
Yeah.
Just because you
Mm.
fluffed the setup.
Yeah.
Because the crowd, they want to feel confident. They don't want to feel, as soon as they sense that little fluff, and even though like they want to react, they're worried because everyone just bites their lip and cringes when there's a choke. They don't want that situation.
Yeah.
So if they hear a little fluff on the setup, they won't react. Well, Danny's going into a battle and he's almost like a kid riding a bike for the first time. Like he's just about staying up, and you're like, any minute now he's gonna buckle over and break his teeth. Like and like even if he gets all the way to the end of his round, he hasn't fallen off. You've still stood there going, "Fuck me, this kid's gonna fall off." And it's like, so that's what the situation is with Danny. Like you need to, your performance needs to breed like confidence into the crowd, and then it's a two-way street. Like so, that's the thing. Sometimes he'll get to the end of his round, he'll think, "Oh yes, I haven't choked," but he also hasn't got the maximum out of his round because the crowd felt like he was going to choke.
Yeah.
So that's
Big
where
up, Mike,
he
by the
needs
way.
to work on that performance.
Big up, Mighty.
Big up, Mighty. I don't
Yeah.
know, is he in the comments?
Yeah.
See you soon for Ultimate Writer, bro.
Yeah, man.
Pamphlet versus Soweto Kinch. I do feel like this is going to be one of them battles. This is an entertaining battle.
Because the thing is, they're both crazy with freestyles too. So I feel like I really hope that becomes a feature in the battle because they can both go nuts with that shit. Personally, when you talk about like breaking down like the person who's had more rounds that I think were fucking amazing, I think Pamphlet will win the battle.
Yeah, I hear that as well. I like Soweto Kinch, and I think he does do the job more time.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anything that's like, wow, do you know what I mean? Whereas Pamphlet has had me hooked before, and it's like, like Pamphlet used to battle in Cardiff, like he used to come down. He's had a couple of battles for Epic Bars, and it was like he used to get the crowd on his side every time from the first round because he's just one of them battlers you watch, and he's loud and eccentric, and it's like, oh, you do this, innit? But you do it to his own character. He comes out, whereas Soweto has a character as well, but it's just not. The bars are just not as high caliber as a Pamphlet would be.
Yeah, because I think sometimes you'll find like spots in like Soweto battles where he's cooking, he's got good bars and stuff, but sometimes when he's rapping in the middle of his rounds, there's no real discernible difference between like what he could freestyle and what he's written. And I feel like that's somewhere where he loses points for me because it's like, yeah, it's still dope, but with the written stuff, you could have just put in that more time just to make it a bit more crazy, and it's still super enjoyable, but I feel like he could push his pen more on his written stuff.
I hear you,
Yeah, like Soweto, like he always, every battle he does, he said something that's so cool. Like sometimes, I always remember being in Birmingham when he said to Heretic, "Wagwan, you look like your gun might shoot some dried fruit."
Yeah.
And it was like that's just cool. Like they just compress something into something that's like as nice as that, and he does those all the time. But yeah, Pamphlet just has that character that he'll just have the crowd on his side all the way through. So there'll be moments that Soweto will have that he might even have the peaks of my favorite moments of the battle. But yeah, Pamphlet just, even when I was in Liverpool, like when he battled Joy France, it was just like the whole crowd has just got smiles on their faces and they're just loving it from start to finish. Even if he says an iffy bar here and there, they're just there for it. So yeah, I think it'll carry him, and I feel like he'll probably win that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Even Soweto has the chance of being like the highest point of the battle, like the most memorable. But Pamphlet's 3 rounds will just probably be golden, and all 3 of them, so he will take the battle in the end. 2-1-2. Man, then you're gonna have to help me with this one because I only know like 50% of the battle. Tricky and Blitz versus Jim Bob, Gnarly, and Doberman. I love 2-1-2s. 2-1-2s when they're done well are probably some of my favorite shits in battle rap as well as on beat because they're different. Everyone gets a go. And I feel like I've done 1-2-1-2 in my life, and it's been the easiest writing I can think of, bouncing off someone.
I really don't
So
know these lot too great, to be honest with you.
was Blitz? Is this? I'm not 100% sure. Is Blitz the Donny Frog that was in Academy? Is it that Blitz or is it a different Blitz because it's spelt differently?
There is definitely a guy called Blitz from that, so I reckon it probably is him.
So it probably is him. And Jim Bob Gnarly has featured on Prem a couple of times as well. Academy, Standard. Not the greatest. Not who did he battle last?
He battled Shawnee B last.
That was it. That was it. Yeah.
And he lost. He's not great. Like, I don't, and he's the only one I know of these four, to be honest.
Yeah, he's the only name that stands out for me.
Yeah,
I remember him being okay. Man, them stop this. What did I say? What did I say? What did I say?
You said about you and your partner bouncing off each other.
Oh my gosh! Pause that. Pause that. I paused that right there. Thank you, Troy. See why Troy's the caretaker? Because he takes care of me, bro. I had to stop the show. What did I say? Like, and no one said nothing. No, you was gonna let me rock with that.
I clocked it, but I allowed it. I was in a forgiving mood.
Thank you, but don't do that to me. Not for me. Yeah, I guess by default I'm gonna give it to Jim Bob, Gnarly, and Doberman just because of Jim Bob's. I wouldn't say weight, I've just heard of him. So 2-T is always good though. It doesn't really matter who is on, as long as both teams write to a certain standard. It can be fun.
You know what?
I
was at Penn
bar
Game.
for bar.
I was at Penn Game at like Box Park last month, and they did an impromptu 2-on-2, and that was so good. Like it was just an on-beat 2-on-2.
Who is Orion and IB Reels versus Marnie and Smiles?
It was that battle, but I wouldn't have had the names in my locker, but it was really good. Yeah, it was just the opportunity to just fill in the ad libs and stuff. Like, it worked really well. It was live in the room.
Big fan of Pen Game, and the reason I enjoyed that battle even more was you saw both styles of how to do a 2-on-2. You had IB Reels and who was Orion, who were going bar for bar off each other like that, and then the other two, one did one round, the other did one round, and then in the end they came together. And I thought they all smashed it, to be fair. I don't usually like when one does one round. If it's 2-on-2, right together, and do you know what I mean? But I think they did a pretty good job. The fact it was on beat helped as well. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Pen Game. So yeah, there's 2-2-on-2s on this card. So we've got the man Burt Broadbent, he's back with Jeeves, who we spoke about earlier, versus Pablo Milky Bar and Blaze TMS.
So I'll be honest with you, right? It's a tough one, that one, because I think Blaze is fucking sick. Like, he's very good. So I think he'll bring a lot of flavor to that. Now, Pablo, he can rap on a beat and stuff, but he's had very shaky performances on Don't Flop. So he's not that solid with his delivery or like remembering his material. So I feel like it's a bit of a weird, it's kind of like a little bit, it's not on solid ground, that one, I don't actually think I've seen Burt Broadbent. And who's the other guy with Jeeves? Jeeves was good. Jeeves was good at the checkpoint. So
yeah, but a checkpoint was Jeeves and Burt Broadbent together.
Oh, okay. So I have seen him and I've met him. He's the skinny guy, right?
Yeah.
Well, they were good. So actually, being honest, even though I really think Blaze is fire, I think Jeeves and Broadbent will probably take it.
So they've had a 2-on-2 before.
they've done 1 2-on-2 match before.
So they've
yeah.
got some experience working together, and he was good, you said. So
Yeah,
there
they
we
were
go.
good, man.
Yeah, they definitely won their battle. Yeah. So just purely off the fact that I've seen them operate together, it's I have to go with them.
It makes sense
Blaze
to give
is
it to
very
them.
fire. Like if you go and watch the battle that he just went up with him versus Miss Inc.
Yeah, I literally watched that last night, and
He was great in that.
He has got good potential. He's got great ideas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Putting it into a 2-on-2, I'd need to see it. Like, but
Same.
yeah.
No, that's called Omnius. Oh, bruv, fuck my English.
It must be
Ominous.
Surely I can't.
Ominous versus Max Sherry.
Well, I don't know who.
Don't
Ominous
know
is.
who Ominous is. No, I don't know who that
I'm going
is.
Max Sherry all day. The boy. I'm going with the boy.
Yeah, I've never heard of Ominous. Yeah, but
We give it to Mac. I hope Mac has a good showing. Please just have a good showing, bro. Go on to the next one. Shawnee B versus Raz Ren.
So this
tricky
one's a
one.
really.
I text Rowan about this earlier, and I was like, it's actually a hard one to call. They're relatively they're sort of similar. Shawnee B, I never used to be a massive fan of Shawnee B on the battlers in his battles. Like I used to I think he kind of used to half-ass it.
Facts.
But in his last maybe 2 or 3, he's really stepped up.
I agree.
Him against Dojo was really good.
Yeah, he was sick.
He killed Jim Bob Gnarly. He had another one, which I can't remember. He had another battle, but yeah. But then Raz Ren was very good at checkpoint. I watched Raz Ren today against Jay Franklin. I only watched that about 2 hours ago on Patreon. No, it was on the Don't Flop. It's come out on Don't Flop, and he was good again. Like so, it's very hard to call actually.
Yeah, it's actually a good matchup for where they're both at right now. I think.
Yeah, I was the same with Shawnee. I wasn't the biggest fan of Shawnee back in the day when he first started. Then he took a quite a big break, and I think it was Ultimate Writer he came back for. And I think just being back with battle rappers and then going to more events, he realized, right, I wasn't the best back in the day. What can I do? And I think he's more self-aware nowadays of you don't want to be the shit one. You don't want to be the shit one. Like even if you're mid, you're still doing the job, but you don't want to be the shit one.
The thing is, with Shawnee is like he's had a lot of change in his life. He's living in London now. He's meaning that he can easily get to the bulk of events, so he's very in tune. If he's not battling at somewhere, he's there. He's surrounding himself with battlers all the time, and I feel like he just wants it. Like his life just a lot less chaos than it used to be. He's got a good girl now, and he's just got a settled life. He's at battle rap all the time. And it's showing, like when it comes into his battles, he's like a different person.
Yeah, I thought he was. I thought he was amazing against Dojo. I thought he was really good. That's the first time I saw him, and I was like, "Oh, I get it now." You know what I mean? Because prior to that, I was just like, "Oh, he's just a guy who likes to fucking take the piss," but he's not really like a full on like battler who gets it. But now I think he gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Shawnee's actually a dope rapper on beat as well. On beat, he's actually fire. I think I saw a freestyle on Hulk's channel as well.
Yeah.
And he was rapping. I was like, I didn't expect this shit. Like I clicked on it, I was like, oh, you can rap. That's cool. Now bring that over here as well and put as much passion in, which he has been improving every battle.
Yeah. Also, just off of like, you know, like anecdotally, like the last time I saw him, he was very confident about this battle. Like he was like, he was very confident that he was going to take it. So I think he's probably got some good shit.
I feel
I feel like that was go on,
feel,
question.
I feel like I'm leaning towards Shawnee. I think it's like he's he's more cultured. Like I feel like Raz Ren, although he's a good tryout guy, he's still a tryout guy. Like he's still quite green. Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas Shawnee B feels like he's getting into that next stage now. So I just think he's going to be more well-rounded. One thing I notice about Raz Ren is he's what he tends to do. The one we watched at Checkpoint, he battled like a small guy, and he had 3 rounds of short jokes. And someone might say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. He 3-0'd him with just short jokes. I watched him against Jay Franklin a couple of hours ago. He maybe only had 2 angles, and he just does it. Okay, like if you can win your battles doing that, but sooner or later you're going to get to a stage where you need a bit more creation, a bit more variety to what you're doing, because otherwise that's going to undo you. So,
Like I said before, salt and pepper is cool, but you need the cumin, you need everything, everybody, the all-purpose. Sometimes, like, do you know what I mean? You can only cook certain things with just salt and pepper.
yeah. So
And
I
like
feel,
maybe if it was a better opponent at Checkpoint
yeah,
and they did more, I don't know what battle you're on about, but if they did more, would that have won the battle type
yeah.
shit?
This is the thing. So Shawnee seems like he's just got some more strings to his bow. Like he's got a bit more character, whereas like Raz Ren kind of just stands still, and it's just like he does this, and what he does is good. It is good, and he is funny. Like he's got good jokey punchlines. He rhymes well, so he's not bad. But if you're pushing me for who's going to win, Shawnee B's got more in his locker.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Shawnee taking this one, to be fair. Raz is good, and like you said though, he is very new. So where he's standing still, hopefully he does something different, a couple more angles, give him 2, 3 more battles. We could be talking differently about him, but for now, he's off to a good foot. But like, was it Crow that said it? Like this battle for both of them, Shawnee wanted to make an impact, Raz wanted to carry on his thing, is a good place for them to meet. And there's only one winner at the end of the day, so good luck to both of them boys. Moke versus Impact is next on the
Yeah,
agenda.
man. Yep. That
ABK,
was
take it away.
it's kind of a crazy one still. I mean, I'm really glad to finally see Moke on the platform again, because obviously he did a tryout there years ago, and he was booked like twice to like come on. So there was nearly like Moke versus Reverse. There was meant to be Moke versus Charlie Clips, and obviously Clips let us down with that one. So it's nice to see him finally on the platform, because it'll be interesting to see what he does there, and like what it does, to his style and how he approaches it and stuff. Obviously, like Impact has more fan credit there, so that could work in his favor. But I think Moke has a really good shot of winning this. I mean, Moke's way of writing is more the kind of thing that I like to listen to. So, like, I'm definitely rooting for that to win. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think I really liked him to have a really good showing on DF, because I think he could. He's got something different that's not represented there right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like this one's a completely different battle to Raz Ren against Shawnee B, but it's a similar kind of pegging. Like it's another one that I really don't know.
Pause. Pagan's a pause. Pagan's definitely a pause.
It's almost pointless talking about battle. There's so many things that sound pause.
Okay, but yeah, it's another one that I've got to think about. So yeah, I'm just trying to think of what. Yeah, I mean, it's a proper don't flop event. It ain't like a festival settings and whatever. I'm probably leaning towards Moke in this one, actually. I think, yeah, yeah. I'll go with Moke, I think.
But the thing is, right? I do think that Impact will be coming to like go crazy because he doesn't get names like that in the modern era. He's not really getting like the guys who people are like fucking with, who are like the the up and comers, or who have kind of made a little bit of a name for themselves and stuff. He doesn't really get those offers. So I think he will be trying to prove something as well. So who knows? I
Yeah,
think
I mean, the thing is, Moke's last one was against Tojo, and it wasn't a great Moke. Like it was one where, who was it that dropped out on Dojo? It was
RX.
RX. So
Yeah.
RX dropped out, and Moke kind of stepped in. So okay, it was like quite late prep, but it wasn't a great Moke.
Mm.
So yeah, and then maybe Impact. He might be motivated by the situation that he doesn't get those looks. I don't know how much he cares about all that though. To be honest, I feel
well,
like if he was, I feel like if
although
he was
he
throwing
was,
his hat in all the time looking for battles, he probably would. So
yeah.
I don't know how bothered he is, but yeah,
But he was sort of famously like quite upset when Slester beat him, though, wasn't he?
I know Slester very much did beat him. I don't know about the fallout
Yeah.
after.
Yeah, I know that. Well, I mean, I do remember I do remember lots of posts like these guys don't fuck with me. Everyone says this about me and that about me, like they don't get it, kind of thing. I remember him
Mm,
being a bit upset about that. So I do think he does care.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. So yeah, he might turn up bit between the teeth and want to prove a point. So maybe, but yeah, I'm sticking with Moke. I think
Yeah.
Moke's going to get it.
No, I agree. I think Moke's got the better shot, and because he will bring something different that also is something that Impact hasn't really faced either. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'd love
Weirdly
for this.
enough, I feel like even though Impact had more experience on Don't Flop, when it comes to writing, I feel like Moke does do a lot more in his rounds and he has a lot more
Hmm.
artillery. Like
Yeah, he
Impact is
does.
good and he's not a easy day in the office. I do agree with that. But like it is usually just either jokes or barring, whereas Moke can fly off the handle sometimes and just go
Yeah,
mad and
yeah,
rag around for no reason, just rag around like, do you know what I mean? So on paper it should be Impact because again it is at home of Impact is very comfortable at Don't Flop. But I don't think um Moke is an easy person for Impact to write for. But then again, I don't think Impact is an easy person for Moke to write for.
yeah. True, true.
So I'm gonna feel like I lean towards Moke's that even though I think Impact is a great battler, I feel like in this age we're in as well, I feel like Moke might just do that little bit more.
Mm.
So I've got him winning the battle. But I think it's going to be a great battle, to be honest. I'm hoping for 6 great solid rounds from both of them.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
like Sean said about Moke's last showing was Dojo. Yeah, it was late prep, but I feel like if you're gonna step in, you need to confidently step in. But I think Moke knows that as well, and he took
Yeah,
the battle maybe a touch lighter than he should have. So now the next time, this is his next battle, so
yeah,
it's ready to remind people, don't get it twisted. That was like step in Moke. Don't forget
yeah,
what happens when they book me for me.
yeah, yeah.
Plus, Moke's gonna kick off as well. Be like, where the fuck's Clips? I was meant to battle Clips. Who is this, bro? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who goes from
Impact's about
Clips
to get
to
3 rounds
Impact?
of lips bars, bro.
Quill, yes, Pablo Milky Bar is a real battle rap name. How he came up with that, I do not know. Why he chose that, I do not know.
I think
But
Quill's
yes,
even
it is a real.
been there when he's battled before, but yeah.
Quill's funny. I've been in a group chat with Quill for a little bit now, and I've noticed that he don't know that much about battle rap. Like there's an ongoing joke of he doesn't know who Hollow is, and I'm not in the battle rap circles to be fair. So like when he's saying like who's this, who's that, I don't know if he's joking or not. But
Mm,
I definitely knows he won't know who Pablo Milky Bar is. I only know Pablo because he battled Moke in a little studio setting, and I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that was Moke's debut on Don't Flop.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing is like Pablo on a beat is like he can rap on a beat. Like he makes like he makes like British like boom bap hip hop stuff, and he can rap. But it just I just sort of feel like most of the times when I've seen him perform, it always seems like he's just like super high and hasn't really learned his bars properly. You know?
Yeah, that's something you've got to learn, though, especially if you're a massive stoner and you come into this. It's cool, you can smoke after the battle, but just
Yeah.
it does. You can. I've been high in battles and watching back, I've been like, yeah, you can definitely tell I'm fucking block up as fuck. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like it's alright. I usually just smoke like half a zoot before the battle, and I just know I can smoke after. So yeah, it's one of them things. It does affect your stage presence as much as you could be the biggest smoker, but we could see red eye on the HD cams, bro. Don't slip it. All right, let's start. Marlo versus Enigma. We're getting into the main events now.
This one is crazy. Like this is a classic DF kind of matchup, right? But I just sort of feel like I mean, look, I just sort of feel like Marlo is amazing, bro. He's like top tier.
Yeah,
He's an incredible rapper. He's an incredible angler. He's hilarious, but he can fucking rhyme and rap his ass off too. And I think he's gonna fucking wash Enigma, bro. I think he's gonna wash him, man. Enigma's like the perfect person for him to battle as well because Enigma's got so much you can say about him, and like Marlo, yeah, I think he's gonna have a field day with this one.
that's the problem. Enigma did leave one of the biggest shit stains on battle rap history ever. Like you can't sugarcoat it. Like it was one of the I made all the top 10 lists like of shit you don't say and all that. And yeah,
Yeah,
Marlo is a very smart individual. He's very, very funny. He's very self-aware. He has a standard to write to because he's in like duos with Shuffle. Do you know what
hmm
I mean? And I agree. I feel like Marlo is gonna have a field day. I haven't seen Enigma versus Bonnie the Godiva yet. I heard they're having trouble chopping it up for the YouTube, so it
yeah. They
don't just
just
go
they
up and get
just dropped
ripped
it
down.
yesterday, but he said
It's what
some.
I expected. It's what I
It's,
expected though of Enigma booking Enigma against a strong female black rapper.
yeah,
There was only one reason that booking was there made. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't feel like he's gonna be able to do the same with Marlo.
Nah, no way. And the thing is, as well, I mean, I was stood next to Marlo during that battle, and the whole way through, we were just looking at each other like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I sort of feel like when that was happening, Marlo already like from then he had ideas, you know what I mean?
Sean,
What you
how you
saying,
feeling
Sean?
about the battle?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say it before Crow said it. To be honest, it'll be a body. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be, and the thing is, Enigma will love every minute of it.
Of
it's
yeah, I agree with that.
he will. It will be great. I mean, the thing is with Marlowe is yeah, he's a top tier, but in terms of someone, if you're talking about top tiers who are gonna rip people to shreds and body them, like you've got certain people that are up there that are top tiers because they rap really well and they bar out, like someone like Yunnan will just
Mhm.
out rap someone for 3 rounds, and we might say that in the next prediction. But Marlowe assassinates people.
Yeah.
Like, he
Yeah,
he for 3 rounds is just tears them to pieces, and that's it's just what he's going to do.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
he's it's going to be 3-0, and yeah, I'm sorry, like, I've got loads of time for Enigma, but yeah, I'd imagine he'd probably agree.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
that
gonna be a
was a straight
body
body. I can't
easy.
even sugarcoat. I don't know how to. Betting against Marlo is crazy anyway. But
Yeah.
with someone who has a record like Enigma, it's a nasty day in the office. I just want to shout out TMR podcast, the Gulag with MK, TKE, K Millie. I think that's it. K Millie, TKE, MK. there's probably someone else. My brain's saying someone else. But yeah, go and lock into that. I'll be covering that as well while we get on to Zen defending his title against Lady Shocker. I do like this battle. Like Garth was saying, I do really like this battle.
And in
And
terms of a UK like on beat battle, it's like one of the best ones you could put together, I think.
100%. Lady Shocker on Grime is fire. She is fire. I remember watching her versus Rap 4, and yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And it's not because there's not many people that could take this battle, and I'd be like, are you just giving it to them? But this one might make sense because Lady Shocker is active in Grime scene more than the battle rap scene, but she just battled Hulk on a festival, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they did an on beat thing, and apparently she was nuts on it as well.
That's cold. I've
Yeah.
never seen a bad showing from Lady Shocker. I got all the time in the world for her. Unfortunately, though, Zen is just built for that title,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Unless it's like a gem or someone crazy, I don't see him losing it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I do feel like he has the upper hand for sure because he's just so seasoned at that kind of battling. Like he just knows how to play it. He knows all the tricks. He knows exactly how to play it to the crowd, and he knows like where to put the punches and exactly like, you know, he's so dope with it. But I do think that Shocker presents a way bigger challenge towards him than anyone who he's faced so far.
It was Craig G. It was Craig. That's my brother from my FT Dub as well. My
So he's
HR
the
meetings
only member
crazy.
of the podcast who doesn't have a
Hey.
K in his name. Everyone else has got Ks, but he's Craig
That's
G.
it. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
the FTW UK fucking HR meeting. That's me. I'm in there. My bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. Sen's at a point where he could do old bars and it still gets you gassed. Like, the
Yeah,
boy ching chings, like they're cold.
yeah.
So I want to see what Lady Shocker does, and I think she'll be amazing.
Mm.
But that belt, that title, I've honestly got it staying with Zen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Zen against Danielson was absolutely nuts. That's one that
Good.
for like being in the room for that was unreal on both sides.
Yeah, Danielson was amazing, bro.
Yeah, and it was a win for Zen. Like so, and that'll always stick with me. Like how good he was. I don't know if it's against Marv was like the settings came into play, but he wasn't anywhere near as good.
No, I agree. But it's because I was there. You weren't there, were you, Sean?
No,
Yeah.
I was there at the day before. But
It was weird. I mean, obviously, it got that weird energy in the middle anyway because of the bars. But like, it doesn't feel right doing an on-beat battle in a tiny room like that. It just doesn't feel the same at all.
The thing is, when you're writing for a big live crowd of people that you want them to engage with it, and then it's like I don't do on beat and that, but you know where I try and get crowd to engage with what I do, if for whatever reason they said, oh look, hold that material, you're not doing that, you can do it tomorrow in a small room with like 8 people, it's gonna be awkward. So I can appreciate that it was obviously it would have been hard, like a hard task. So I mean, like Lady Shocker, she's like I really like her as well. I can't back against Zen though. Like for who's gonna win the battle. So yeah,
Just had to switch my headphones. Can you man still hear me?
Yeah, it sounds different, but yeah, we can hear you.
Sounds different. That's cool. Like bad different or?
It's got like a weird. I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, we're covered to the end anyway. I've had a great live stream. Nothing's gone wrong really. We'll finish it off. But yeah, so everyone got Zen.
Yeah, Zen.
Sweet. Unanimous. Sorry, let me give him his full title. Unanimous versus Mr. Tongue Twister, £1,000 on the line. Next in line to battle Gem. What are we saying, lads? You've obviously just stepped off the Tongue Twister battle.
Mm-hmm.
Tongue Twister's a pause. I'm just gonna pause for now. We know what it is. He's a vet.
So on the one hand, like I would say, Tongue Twister's really hard to write for. So that's one of his skills. He's like, because he's been around for so long and lots of stuff has been said to him. He's done loads of battles, but also he doesn't really have any like standout negative characteristics too heavy. He's very hard to write for. So obviously there's a challenge there for Yunnan, but bro, Yunnan's form for the past, I don't see anyone stopping him getting that gem battle. I just think he's gonna. I think he's like his bro. He did Canelo dirty. You know what I mean? Like, and all of his battles have been just he's just punching the fuck out of everyone in front of him, and I just see him steamrolling all the way to the final for real. And to be honest, I would love to see that Gem Yunnan rematch. So, you know, that I gotta back Tommy on this one.
Yeah, 100%. If you look at Yunnan's last 3 performances, and if you sort of just take that level of performance, what he's done, I've never seen Tongue Twister do that.
No.
Like, so, and he's a well-rounded battler with like a lot to his game, and he's like
he's actually really good. Like, he gets undersold. He's good.
Yeah, no, and I'm not someone who underrates him at all. He's my type of battler. And he's going to be writing his ass off for this. This is, and I believe that in his head he thinks he's going to be facing Gem in November, but it's just logic. Everything points towards it's going to be Yunnan. Like, Yunnan has to produce something significantly lower than what his average level of performance for his last 3 battles has been for Tongue Twister to have a chance.
Yeah, I agree.
That he produces something that's never been seen before. So it's not to say that it's impossible he could win. Like, it's not, but it's impossible to predict him to win.
Yeah, like Crow said, when it's angle wise, I think Tongue Twister has a lot more to write for, because, like you said, there's Tongue Twister's been here a long time, and you don't really hear fuckery around his name. He usually just turns up, does his job, does a good job, goes home, stays out of battle rap politics and all of that shit. But Yunnan can just rap about nothing, and it just sounds fucking dope, bro. Yunnan's writing has always been my favorite. Like, when I was battling Yunnan, I knew I wasn't gonna win. I just had to be the best me. That's all I could do in the day. But that was like one of my end game goals, and like, I was shocked that he went so far in detail on my life, and I was like, right, okay, that's cool. So I don't even think Yunnan has to rely on angles or anything. He can just do a dope setup, a dope thing, and just make it slightly relevant to Tongue Twister. Even the name, he could just flip the fuck out of, you're a Tongue Twister, do a tournament, like, you know what I'm saying? He just goes rags, bro. It's mad to bet against Yunnan, especially so close to the Gem battle that everyone wants to see, and I think he knows that. As much as people did downplay Yunnan's self-awareness sometimes, he knows battle rap to a T, to be honest, and he knows this is the final hurdle. Like, Yunnan's been around just before like Tongue Twister got popping, like, do you know what I mean? So he's like, not this guy, this guy. Do you know what I mean?
And also, like, he could have, like, he was always going to beat Canelo, but he didn't come light at all. Like, he brought every fucking weapon and just obliterated the guy. And Canelo had some great material still, but like, he could have gone light and still gone through, and he didn't. He went full fucking throttle. So I sort of feel like that's the headspace that he's in, where he's like, nah, I'm nuking everybody, bro.
Yeah.
Because he wants that fucking money. He wants to also redeem, because he's got the whole redemption arc of his last battle against Jem, when Jem beat him and he kind of like, you know, had a couple of dodgy bars that people took the piss at him for. I feel like he wants to redeem that whole thing and just like, you know, go crazy.
Do you know the other thing that he's going to be thinking is, because obviously he's banned from Prem. He was last on Prem last November. So if he could do a whole 2024 not being on Prem, but still get Battler of the Year,
Yeah,
he would look at that and as being a huge achievement.
of course.
And if he does go all the way through this and he beats Jem and he becomes the champion, you'll have people who will belittle him and say, well, you know, look at who he's faced and what have you. But by the end of it, he will have beaten Jem. And don't get me wrong, like that there's no guarantee. But if you look across it, if you look at the actual level of performance against each person, Kick Nelly, who's it?
Black Tea.
Black Tea.
No.
Black Tea and Canal.
You know, yeah, and it's like
it's top tier. It's absolutely
it's still 100% right.
And the thing is, he can only battle who's put in front of him. If he's in a tournament, he battles who's there.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Yunnan, like his formula of the way that he constructs a bar isn't like alien. It's not like the formula itself is the same one that most people use, which is those 4 multis to the 4 bar. But it's just the scrutiny that he puts each one under, the how he doesn't deviate away from the person or away from the point. It's so tight.
Yeah.
And when it lands on the 4th one, it's a hard battle rap bar. It's not just wordplay. It's a bar that sounds hard.
Yeah, facts.
And that's all that you can really say, is that the thing that's where I say that the formula is not alien. The only thing that is alien is the standard of the quality, like of it, and also that's not even bringing into account like his delivery, which is fucking incredible. Like his delivery is nuts. It's so aggressive but so clear. You know what I mean? Like it's nuts. And that's the thing. And he's writing at like an elite level, but he'll do it at one of these events that's got like comedy roast people there who will be watching on and being like, I get what he's saying. Like he's not losing people in obscure references. It's like people are like, oh wow, this guy is like doing something really special. Like so he's he's arguably like on form the top in the country this year.
No, I agree. And Rivers makes a good point there where he says Yunnan has no filler, that's true. I feel like back in the day he used to do long drawn out schemes and he did have filler, and because he was criticized for it so much, he's like chopped every piece of fat off of his writing, and it's like it's just constant like battering of his opponent and direct, and that's where he really has. I mean, there's a few ways that he has a step up on Tongue Twister, but Tongue Twister still does have dry spots, you know what I mean, in his rounds, even when he's really good. And he's a great battler. Like he's got some really funny bars, and he can rap. He knows how to rhyme properly, you know what I mean, which is something a lot of people don't. But if you can't.
Sometimes this is the thing. Sometimes Tongue Twister will throw out a silly bar for a laugh, but you can't afford to do that.
Exactly that. I don't feel like it's the time or the place.
If you're in a judged battle against him, that is literally just giving up a bar. You have to stay on the gas.
Yeah, like he has to use every piece of real estate in the time limit that they have, or he's not gonna win.
Yeah, and that's it. And I just can't see a world where he beats him. Like unless you have a scenario where Yunnan hasn't prepped or whatever,
Yeah, and like, and maybe if he hits on something that really pops for the crowd for some reason, something that's really funny or really cutting, then he can ride that and maybe take that round. You know what I'm saying? But still, it's a fucking uphill battle for him. He knows he's the underdog. He knows it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've seen stranger things happen. Like, Yunnan could turn up and choke 2 rounds.
Sure.
And if he does, then the judges could quite easily give the battle to Tongue Twister, especially if he's good. But it ain't likely. I reckon if this battle happens like 100 times, Yunnan probably wins it 99 times.
Yeah.
So
it's hard as well because even though, unlike Danny Jack, where Yunnan again is someone who has many angles to take, Yunnan has faced top tier opponents which have probably done the angle so much better than Tongue Twister can. And again, like we were saying, you can't waste a round talking about Yunnan's tantrums or something like that, because we already know that. And like when Yunnan's firing on all calibers, that shit doesn't matter in the battle.
People don't care. People
that shit really doesn't matter, and he's probably got a better bar about it than you have brought for him. So I think it's for safe bet, it's better to put. But I still think, even though I've got my money on Yunnan, Tongue Twister's still gonna give. Like I said, he shocked me when he beat Ukro, so he could have something in his pocket.
Yeah,
but it better be sharp and pointy, and he better be ready to use it, Beth, because Yunnan's not coming to play, not this close to Gem.
No.
Yeah.
And also, there's a fucking grand on the line for real.
Grand. Like, everyone can do it a grand, bro.
Who doesn't want to win a battle and get a fucking bag? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's...
Worst thing is, even if you've got money like that, a grand, you could just blow that grand that night. It don't even matter. Like, everybody drink, like, do you know what I mean? But fuck it, hell. Yeah, I gotta give it to Yunnan. Yeah. I rarely bet against Yunnan, even in the Bizzo battle. I don't bet against Yunnan.
Yeah,
because he's been my favorite battler for good reason. But the whole tournament's been dope, though. I do love a tournament.
Yeah, same. And I think, like, there's some like, because actually the Black T Yunnan battle was fire. Me versus Gaff was fire. Like, there's some really great battles that have come out of it, for real.
That's the thing, and we do get battles like Canel versus Yunnan, which we wouldn't have got without the tournament settings. And it's a good writing exercise for the battlers who are used to battling. Like Yunnan's used to battling high caliber, right, prep for war. But like we said, Yunnan still comes prepped if it's a mid guy, a newish guy, an up and comer, or a vet. You're gonna get a great Yunnan 9 out of 10 times. But
the thing with Yunnan is that, like, he's battled the top names, so for this to create a scenario where he could battle different people. I mean, Kick Nelly wasn't in the tournament, but that was another scenario where you get in Yunnan battles. It also justifies a rematch with Gem. So you've created 5 more Yunnan battles, which if he was just battling top tiers and that, there's who else has he got? You can't
really win a year or something.
He's pretty much battled everyone now. So
I think that's the point as well. If Yunnan has 5, if Yunnan had 3 amazing battles, he'd be allowed to battle Gem anyway. But to the fact that there's the title on the line as well, I think it just means that much more to Yunnan. It makes more sense to, I win this tournament, I take the DF title. Because I think, again, like, I don't bet against Yunnan, I don't bet against Gem. But I was saying to Wax on a previous episode, I don't like not betting against someone, but Yunnan versus Gem is one of them ones where I don't even want to say, because
it's a great story as well, though, isn't it? Like, Yunnan literally fighting his way all the way there just to talk to Gem again. It's a cool ass fucking battle rap story. Like,
that one's a hard one to pick, because I think the Gem that battled Quill probably beats Yunnan, but the Gem that battled Bizzo probably loses to Yunnan. So it's difficult. It's a difficult call. I don't know. I'll just have to think about that nearer the time. Like,
Yeah, I think like it's kind of it's one of them ones, isn't it? If Jem came with his like his second round versus Quill and his second round versus Bizzo, then he's gonna take 2 rounds probably. Do you know what I'm saying? But if he comes with like his first round versus Quill and his third round, you know what I mean, versus Bizzo, he's gonna lose. Like,
yeah. So it really is a flip of a coin, that one. It's hard to know. I mean, both of them. If that ends up being the battle in November, we will have seen Yunnan again against Tongue Twister. We'll see Jem maybe a couple of times from what he's saying. He's got battles in the pipeline and whatever. So it's you make a decision in November, innit?
but the thing is, the good thing about it is if that's the battle that happens, that is pretty much like my 2 favorite like UK battlers facing off.
It's amazing. It's an amazing.
It's insane.
Yeah, it really is. Like, it's a great way to sort of like end the year.
I don't think many people
have a
can
big
scare
step.
Jem either, but Yunnan is definitely one of them people, and Jem knows it as well.
Yeah, he does.
Jem knows it.
He knows. He knows that's a fucking hard shift.
Yeah, Jem knows. Yeah, it's Jem knows that he can be A1 and lose.
Yeah,
that's the problem with a Yunnan is you.
It's
what makes it a great battle though.
Yeah,
when 2 top writers at that level are backed into a corner, somebody got to die. Unfortunately, it's not even a let's scuff this outside. Someone's got to get hurt.
That battle will pack out a venue easy. Who doesn't want to see that shit, bro?
Yeah, I almost don't want Tongue Twister to win.
Yeah. That's the unfortunate thing for him is that people do really want to see that final.
That's the problem. If Tongue Twister wins, we know Jem is gonna get him the fuck out of here respectfully, because it's just the level of writing alone. Whereas Yunnan, it's like, oof, I don't know where to put my money. I might just keep it in my pocket and just watch him fight. To be honest.
Yeah.
But lads, this has been a great live. Barely any interruptions. Thank you very much for coming on the Crash Report. I would love to have you both back.
Definitely.
You've both been a pleasure to talk with. Any battles coming up that we can announce now, man? I don't think I've seen any battles that you've.
Nothing.
I'm taking a little break. Well, there's like I was meant to be doing something, like a not for a league. Like I was meant to be doing a battle in October.
Same. I think it's the same one I was meant to be doing. Yeah. I don't think it's happening, bro.
I don't think it's gonna happen. So no. I might just enjoy the break for a minute, because to be honest with you, after that tech battle, I was kind of like, yo, I don't have to think about battle rap for a second. And that's
always a relief. That's one of my favorite things about battle rapping is when you come off stage and you're like, I don't have to run my rounds anymore. Fucking fire.
So I'll definitely do one more battle before the year's out, maybe 2 if another thing that's coming at the end of the year pays off. But I'm not like jumping in the ring like hella soon. I want to kind of.
If it makes sense, it makes sense, innit, bro?
Life stuff going, you know what I mean?
No, I hear you. We need some music as well. Music's always a good one to fall back on. I love taking a break from battling and just.
I was supposed, bro. My whole plan was to use the summer to make records, and then like Earth strong armed me into doing this tournament, so it fucked my whole plan up.
No, I hear you. Sean, any battles coming up, bro? You can announce.
No, I'm literally. It's that same thing. Like when I woke up Sunday and didn't have any rounds to run, because it was slightly longer rounds than what I've been used to. So my normal prep, where I try and like get the 5 clean rounds out before I go to sleep, the extra minute each round was like I was knackered. Like I was, and I think I messed my voice up actually prepping like as much as anything. So it was a relief to get that out of the way. And so now I'm just going to wait until I want to battle again. I'm not going to do that thing where I accept something and then force myself to want to do it.
Yeah.
I'll let it go the other way.
Because I've already done 4 this year as well, and they were like bang after each other. Do you know what I'm saying? So
you man can chill. Like, you man can chill. They ain't even dropped on YouTube like that. So you've got some drops to keep your name buzzing. Yeah, man. You two are great battlers. So I hope to see you in the future. And again, thank you for coming on. Big up to man like TMR, the Caretaker, Ryan JC, Rivers, Quill, everybody in the chat. Everybody, be back. We'll be back soon. I've been Crash, Sean Cray, Crow. Follow them up. Till next time, homeboys.
peace.
Later, boys. Later.